start off with the notice format. There were certain problems regarding the notice format. Whether what kind of, whether we are following format number 1 or we are following format number 2. And which format are we following, children?
Block format.
We are following
Format
format
number
number 2. Now, this is the one. This is format number 1. Can you see catchy caption mentioned here?
Yes, ma'am.
Now you will also see in format 1, catchy caption, only the 2 C's are in capital. Can you see that?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is how you go about when you write, if you are using the first format, that is catchy caption, and this will be in the center of the page. So catchy caption, name of the event, on, from, at. In short form, we call it as OFA. So I'm not going to waste much time in format number 1 since we follow format number 2. So we go for the format number 2, and the format number 2, just this is format number. Is it visible to you now? Format number 2?
No, yes, ma'am.
Can you see format number 2 now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Now in
ma'am.
format number 2, you will see. I would like you to mute. You click on the mute button, please, all of you.
Okay, ma'am.
Now this format number 2, you will see the catchy caption is written in capital letter. Everything is on the left hand side. This is catchy caption, which should be in proper English. You cannot use any other language to write the catchy caption, and grammatically it should be correct. Second, the name of the event remains the same, and date, you will see the difference in writing the date. Can you see the difference? You will see the day, date, month, and the year. This is how you need to write the date of the format. Time has to be given from to time. For example, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. or from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. There should be 2 numbers mentioned over here, 2 times. That is from the moment the program is to begin and when the program is going to end. Venue, any question?
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
Ma'am,
Yes.
The date will
ma'am,
write
will the catchy caption?
One at a time, please. Yes. The catchy caption.
Ma'am, will it be on the left hand side or in the center of the page?
This is format number 2 that we are following. Is this Rohan?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Rohan, we are following format 2. So everything is on the left hand side. It is a left hand alignment. Catchy caption will be here, which will be in capital letter. You can write the name of the event, and the date will also be, it will be different than the format number 1 because you are going to mention the day out here. Day, date, month, and the year, which carries half a mark. Time, I told you about the time. Venue, again, will be 2 venues, the smaller one followed by the bigger one. The auditorium of Euro School, or you can write Euro School, Undri. But you need to make sure that you have mentioned 2 venues. A brief description. Here also you've got to use formal language. You may use the word, if you're organizing something, you can say we are organizing a particular event, or name of the event, whatever the event is. It could be a debate competition, it could be a singing competition, it could be raising, you're organizing a kind of a carnival. So you have to use the word we are organizing, or we would like to invite. If you're inviting a particular category of students, say from grade 6 to 8, we would like to invite. The word invite and the word organizing, these are the 2 words that carry marks. Clear, children? For the format
Ma'am,
yes.
ma'am, here the date is the date when we are writing the notice, or when the event is there.
This date you will write when the event is there. Okay, when the event is there, that is the date that you have to mention out here. The
Okay,
only
ma'am.
thing you need to be careful about is that generally children are, they forget to write the day. So the day is very important in format number 2. You lose half a mark if you don't mention that.
Ma'am,
Yes?
ma'am, do we write on, from, at in this?
No, that is format number 2 that I have already told you. We do not follow format number 1. That is when there are 2 formats in notice. One is format number 1, which I mentioned in my last class. This is the format number 1, which is on the center of the page, and we go about OFA, O, on, from, at. This is what is format number 1. But we are not following this. We at Euroschool, we go for format number 2. That is catchy caption will be in capital letter. This is very important. Name of the event, date, time, venue, and the brief description. Who the target audience is. That has to be mentioned here.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Now we go to the email part. Now, if you see email, it has to be a proper email ID. You cannot, to whom are you writing? It is mentioned that write an email to the principal of a school. Now, if you just write a name, for example, you write, you can just mention a name. For example, you can say renuka@gmail.com. That will not be taken into account. It will be a wrong email because the question says that we need to address the principal. So you can write the principal euroschool@gmail.com, or you can write if you're writing the name of a person. For example, I said Renuka. You can write Renuka euroschool@gmail.com. Clear how to go about with the writing of the email? So this carries half a mark. The email, a proper, a plausible, a email that is befitting the question that has been asked. To whom are you writing? So this is very important. Subject, generally the subject, you have to be short and brief. You cannot write 2-3 sentences for the subject. What is the topic? Like, it is appropriate to the topic. If it is an invitation, so write invitation for the carnival, or you can write we would like to judge a competition. So the subject should be appropriate to the topic, and it should be short and sweet. You cannot extend it beyond 1 sentence. Salutation, again, we do not write sir / madam. That is wrong. Either we address sir or we write madam with a comma. Opening and closing sentence carries half a mark. Now, what is an opening sentence? Opening sentence is when you are addressing that person. We would be, it will be an honor. We are organizing a fete at Euroschool. Therefore, we would like to extend our invitation to you to come and be the judge. It will be an honor if a great personality like yours would come and grace the occasion. So if you are mentioning that, the way you begin and the way you end, that carries half a mark. Okay, so that's very, very important that you should start with appropriate line, and you should close the sentence also with an appropriate line. This carries half a mark. Subscription, you can say yours faithfully, comma, like the way we go about with our formal letter. Yours faithfully. Do not go for your sincerely, your best friend, regards. All this is not taken into account. Subscription, yours faithfully, will only be accepted because it is a formal invitation that you send through email. Expression carries 2 marks. Now this expression, it is about the words that you're using, the commas, the full stops, the sentences, grammatical, syntax, whether you are writing in the correct format. All that is taken into account with the expression part. So in short, your email is divided into F and E. F for format, which is for 2 mark, that is half, 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 and this half. Clear, children? Yes, Kaustubh, you want to say something?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Now this is, and your expression carries 3 marks. 3 marks, how do we go about with 3 marks? 1 mark over here, opening and closing sentence, and 2 marks out here. It is very much possible to get 10 out of 10 in your email and notice. if you follow what has been mentioned out here. Another important thing that you need to know is that, yes,
Email.
email. Okay, email.
Ma'am,
You
from salutation.
from salutation. Salutation, how much you have to write yours faithfully, right? Yours faithfully, comma, your name, for example, Yashraj is writing, so Yashraj Bal will be the name. If there is a designation, like you are the head boy or you are the sports captain, it will follow after that.
Okay. In the next line, ma'am?
Yes, in the next line. Like the way we write a letter, we write the address. So instead of the address, you have your email address to whom you're writing this an email to. Then you have the subject. What is this email all about? Are you inviting a person to be a judge? Are you inviting a person to be the chief guest? That should be the subject. And then you have the body. The body is opening sentence, closing sentence, what exactly your program is. And then I will talk about that a little later after I discuss the format. Opening and closing sentence, and then subscription. Who is this email coming from? Is it coming from the head boy, who is Kaustov, for example? Or is it coming from Yashraj? So that name has to be mentioned. There's children, please, you click on the mute button, and when you want to speak, you can unmute and then ask me a question. Now, I will talk about the body. What you need to write when it comes to the expression part. Here, you have to mention these points. These points are very important. That we would like to invite you to attend the function on, time, from, where will it be held. And then you can add 2 sentences about the greatness of that personality that you are inviting.
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
Okay. Now, in case you have any doubt, you are most welcome to raise your hand and you can ask me and get it cleared.
Okay, ma'am.
Right? So this is the email format that we follow. Now, as I told you that, yes?
Ma'am, where are we supposed to write a name after the subscription? We have to write a name, right?
Yes, you have to write the name, yours faithfully, and then below that you will write your name. For example, your complete name. For example, it could be Rohan Kulkarni. And then below that, in case there is a designation given, like you are the head boy, or you are the sports captain, or you are the cultural secretary, that designation will come after your name.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you.
So as I told you, we follow format number 2, and this is what I've explained to you. The email part has also been explained. Now we go to the next one, that is comprehension passage. Now children, this is very scoring. You can score 20 out of 20 in this particular question, comprehension passage. Now comprehension passage in ICSE, they generally go in for the classic, like passages taken from Little Women, or taken from Charles Dickens or from Ruskin Bond. So the passages are simple, yet it takes some time to understand. Therefore, there are certain rules that one has to follow. You need to read the passage twice. I have noticed there is a trend that children generally do not, they do not like to go through, read the entire passage. And that should not be the case in this year's batch. You need to read the passage twice. First time, you will not understand. Second time, you will be able to comprehend what the passage is all about. Then you come to the question and answers. Question and answers are in 3 categories. Question number 4A, B, C. Now, A will give you 3 meanings. What you need to know is that when you write the meaning, you have to write in the same tense. For example, the word allotted. Suppose you get the word allotted. Now you cannot write give. You can write the word, you have to write given. Okay? So when I say same tense, means the way the word meaning has come in the same tense, you have to mention you have to write the word. Now, another thing that you can do is that you can use one word if you know it, or you can describe it in a short phrase, but do not give option. Options are not to be given. Answer keys are the words that is there in the passage. Answer keys in question, that is question number 4A, is the 3 meanings that I told you, where you have to write the same tense. You can use one word or you can write the meaning in short phrase, and you are not allowed to give any options. When it comes to question number 4B, total number of question will be about 5. Out of that, it is out of 9 marks, 2, 2, 2 and 1. Generally, these answer keys are taken from the passage. Is that clear? So the answer keys, you need to read the sentence, you need to read the passage, and you need to read the question properly to mention the answer keys. It's very simple. There will be maybe, a 3-word, a phrase that will be the answer key. So you've got to be very careful when you write the answers to those questions. There will be one particular question for 1 mark that will say quote the line. Quote the line means you pick up the exact line that is there in the passage, as per the question, and you just write the same thing, not to give it or write in your own words. So quote the line, always remember, should be in double inverted commas. To continue, so the quote the line, that is 9 question. Now the most important part of question number 4 is the précis writing, which is also called as the summary writing. That is, do not exceed more than 50 words. Now this particular question, that is question number 4C, you will notice that you have to write it in grid. Have you done the précis writing before in grade 8? Children, have you done? Yes.
Ma'am, is the précis writing somewhat like summary writing?
It is like summary writing, but there are certain rules. We do not write it in paragraph form. Okay. So how do we go?
Yeah, but we are in grade about 50 words, right? Because last
Yeah, I'm not able to hear you. Please come again. Uttirna, you want to say something? Please
Ma'am, we read it.
Uttirna wants to say something, Kaustav. Uttirna?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am. It was a mistake, ma'am.
Okay. So coming to this précis writing, what you have to keep in mind. First, you need to draw a grid. That is 5 by 10. Is that clear? The grid. 5 by 10. You have to make that grid. Let me see if I am able to show you. Suppose you need to add, the table. What? See, this is the kind of grid. I've just got 8 of it. You have to make 10. Okay, children? 1, 2. I think I've gone a little more than that. Just that is 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. 1, and then you have. Can you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is your the horizontal line, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That will be up to 10. That is your grid. 5 by 10. You have to make a grid. And you have to make 2 grids. One is the rough draft and another one is the fair draft. Any question, you are most welcome to raise hand. Okay. So,
Ma'am.
yes.
Ma'am,
Yes.
we write with a pencil line inside the grid.
First, that is, I'll come to that. You make the grid first. There will be 2 grids. The first grid will be the rough grid, and both the grids are to be drawn with pencil. But in the rough grid, you are most welcome to write, try to do all the correction work. You want to cancel, you want to do some, kind of change the word. That should be done in the rough grid. Yes, there are 3 people who have raised their hand. One by one, you can ask me question. Unmute yourself, please.
Ma'am, I didn't understand about the grade.
I'm come again. Hello,
Ma'am, I didn't understand the grade, ma'am.
who is this?
Ma'am, this is Yash.
Okay, Yashraj, you have to.
Ma'am, this is Yash.
Okay, now when you are going to write the Prezi writing, the first thing that you need to do is you have to make a grid. You understand a grid? Table. Table 5 by 10.
Okay.
Okay, you draw the grid 5 by 10. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
After that, what you do is that the question that has been asked, for example, if you get a question saying that not more than 50 words, you can write not more than 50 words, summarize the young man's plight in the play. For example, there is a particular question.
तुला व्हिडिओ कॉल केलाय का तू बघ हे असं बघ
Could you please mute? Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so you make that, then you write what are the things that was there. You can write that, and then suppose those points are not covered, you can make those changes. There's a lot of noise from the background. So you can make those changes, and once you are done, all your, all the correction work is done in your rough draft, then you leave a line, you make the second grid, same 5 by 10. And in that second grid, you write the question. And the moment you make the grid, 5 by 10 means 50 words. So you don't have to be worried about whether you have exceeded the word number or you have, written lesser than 50 words. You don't have to worry about that. And then you mention right as per the question asked. This particular question, that is question number 4C, carries 8 marks. 6 points, whatever you have written, 6 points will be taken, and 2 marks will be for your expression. If you exceed or you write lesser than 50 words, then your 2 marks is taken away. You only get marks for the 6 points. Now, if you have a question, you may ask.
Ma'am,
Yes?
Okay, ma'am. Understood.
ma'am, does it have to be exactly 50 words?
Exactly 50 words. That is the reason why I specified on the grid. So you do not have to be worried about whether you have exceeded, and don't sit down to count it, because the moment you do 5 by 10, you have touched 50 words. Okay?
Okay,
Ma'am,
ma'am.
Yes. Yes,
Ma'am?
Rohan? Yes, Kaustav?
ma'am, inside the grid, we write with a pen or a pencil.
The rough draft, you will use pencil because you're going to make a lot of corrections there. And the fair draft will be with pen. Yes, Toshik? Toshik?
Ma'am,
Yes?
ma'am, do we have to cancel the first grade?
No. Do not cancel. No cancellation. That used to be the, that used to be the rule long time back. But the new rule says you do not cancel your rough draft.
Okay, ma'am.
Yes, Avdut?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, Avdut has asked me the question. Next. Okay, so is this clear? Aditya? Yes, Aditya? Unmute yourself, Aditya.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of expression?
Expression means how do you write. Now, if you're going to write, for example, you write once upon a time, there lived a king. Okay, once upon a time, there lived a king. And now that will be taken as one proper sentence in your grid. But if you write, okay, I need to touch 6 points. So I will write the king, lived, kingdom, just a word mentioned. Then there is no expression over there. What you're trying to convey is not there. Therefore, that is for 2 marks. So it has to be proper, grammatically correct. And you can use contraction in this particular question. That is, don't, can't, couldn't, you can use them.
Okay, ma'am.
Avoid using hyphenated word, because if it is a verb, it will be taken as 2 words. If it is a noun, it will be taken as 1 word. So since you will not be aware about whether it is a noun or a verb, so best way to write is to use one single word. Now we have the best important part, question number 5. This is like maths. The more you practice, the better you get at it. Anything wrong and it is considered, I mean, even a one word is missing and it is wrong. Now, what are the things you need to concentrate upon? Tenses. Question number 5 is divided into A, B, C, and D. Question number 5A is basically, it is more to do with tenses, where they will give you an example and you have to fill in. There will be 8 particular words you need to fill in, which carries half a mark. Then it can be, for example, I-0 convinced that my father. Now, in this particular sentence, the question will be convinced. I am convinced. Now, it is in past tense. So, you need to read the passage and fill in the tenses. Second one, question number 5B is preposition. Preposition is very important. Most of the children, make a lot of errors. So, we will be giving a lot of practice papers and worksheets on prepositions. Transformation of sentences from, change of degrees, transformation of sentences from assertive sentence, change it to negative sentence, from emphatic, change it to exclamatory or interrogative. Those are transformation of sentences. Subject verb agreement. As we, proceed with the class, we will talk about this, how you need to use plural or the singular verb, whether, where does it agree with, when do we use it and when we do not. Direct and indirect speech, these are all the grammatical functions that you all have done in lower grades. Active passive voice remains the same. Again, it will be part of question number 5D. Sequence of tenses, degree of comparison, synthesis of sentences, interchange of sentences. Now, as I mentioned, question number 5A is of tenses. B is preposition. Question number 5C is joining of sentences without using and, but, or so. So how do we join sentences? We change them into simple sentence. We join them with, we turn them into a complicated sentence, or we kind of join them with any other conjunction beside and, but, or so.
Ma'am,
Question, yes?
ma'am, we can use commas.
Yes, you can use commas. For example, we will be discussing this when we do our worksheets in our next class. We will be doing this, where we will be solving some of the grammar section as per the ICSE question papers. Now in question number 5D, it is do as directed. There will be, instructions given. You have done that also in your grade 8, where you will be told begin with this sentence, change with this, start to begin with no sooner. Now, what are the rules for no, when to use no sooner, when, when you use unless, when you use although, or how to go about it. So it is, it can be direct indirect speech, it can be active passive voice, it can be degree of comparison. So question number 5D is do as directed. That will include everything from subject verb agreement, direct indirect, active passive voice. What you need to know over here is that you need to keep the meaning same. You cannot change the tense, and you have to follow the grammatical function or the rubrics of grammar. The rules, you have to keep that in mind. If it was written that books are ordered by the librarian, you cannot change it to books were ordered by the librarian. That little word were and are changes the tense, and it is considered to be wrong. Clear? Children, any question?
No, ma'am.
Yes, Aishwarya. Aishwarya, ask.
Ma'am, I did not understand the grid in the question 4.
Grid. Okay, going back to question number 4, we have about 5 minutes left. So just question number 4, it is divided into 3 sections. A is meaning, B is question and answer. Again, answers are there in the text, in the passage itself. Question numbers 4C is summary writing. And summary writing, they will mention that not more than 50 words. To ensure that we write 50 words, what do? We make a grid. We make 2 grids. First is the rough draft and the second one is the fair draft. The rough draft, you will draw the grid 5 by 10. Clear? So 5 by 10 itself tells us 50 words. Right? Aishwarya? So in that grid, you will write the summary, whatever has been asked. Okay? So you know if you have exceeded, suppose you write the summary and you have crossed 52, your words have crossed 50 and it is 52. So then you look into the summary of the rough draft and you say, okay, I have crossed 50, more than 50 words. Where do I need to make the correction? So you do the correction in the rough draft. You work on it. And then after you are satisfied in your rough draft that, yes, I have been able to cover all the 6 points as per the question that has been asked, I go to the next, I leave a line and then again I draw another 5 by 10 grid. And I write whatever work I've done in the rough draft after the correction. I write that entire thing in the fair draft with pen.